Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Lego. It's been a while. We're super excited to be back on the internet with you guys, back on the live. How you doing, man?
Good.
How you hanging in there? Cool,
Good. Yeah, I apologize for those of you that are in here watching. I apologize for missing last week. I don't even remember what it was. Oh yeah, my daughter graduated from 8th grade. So
Yeah. So obviously valid. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah, and then we were trying to shuffle it around, and every other day had something else going on, and then I was like,
yeah,
well, I can't do it that day, but you can do it this.
we
No, I
tried
can't.
to get it done sometime this last week, and it
We
just
did.
wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, because we wanted to strike while the iron was hot with this set and get our thoughts out here and really jump on it. But it is still a fairly new set, and we're excited to talk about it. So
Yeah, it hasn't released yet.
yeah, Retro Space Coast with $5 donation. Many thanks. Good evening, lads. Hope all are well. What an epic set this is.
Yeah,
You're right,
phenomenal.
man. I'm super excited about it.
Conveniently, I haven't even seen any of the land members dancing around with it because I've unfollowed all of them. So it's still very new to me.
Dude, so I'm not gonna lie. I watched like part of the official unveiling with the guy and the gal doing the official unveiling. I watched a little bit of a reel of that online, and then every time I saw a land video start sliding the box into camera, I just swipe away. I was like, I like looking at the pictures, get my own idea. I don't really care what you guys have to say about this one. So yeah. But it's kind of fresh for us, so we're excited to jump into it and talk about it with you guys. So let's welcome everybody to the chat tonight, and we'll dive into this awesome set.
Obviously, Retro's in here. Welcome.
Yep.
Adam Ride. Hello, Matt. PX Chris. Brickativity. Mirko. Welcome. Hello, TR Bricks. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Taz is in here. Nick's Castle Bricks.
Cool. Good to have you guys in here. LOTR, Lord of the Rings Bricks. Yeah, that's what that would stand for. So it's good to have a Lord of the Rings fan in the house. You can drop the lore on us as we fumble our way around through this thing.
Excuse me.
I mean, I'm a pretty avid Lord of the Rings fan. I've read the books multiple times, seen the movies. You know how it is. But
I have all the weapons.
People get Yeah, people get all caught up on it sometimes, but
quite the collection of Tolkien stuff.
Of the memorabilia, the weapons and stuff.
Speaking of
bring it out. Let's see it.
Tolkien
That's what we're doing here, man.
You want to talk about a fantastic book?
Look at this thing.
Ooh. Oh, dude, I have that book.
This is like a $300 book.
Do I have that one? I don't have that one.
It's got the gold leaf on the on the pages. It's the World Illustrated of Tolkien, and it's like artwork and all the creatures and everything with descriptions.
So I have a version of that because they've published parts and different things in different volumes and stuff. So that's a good book.
Fantastic book.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Yeah, sometimes it's just fun to jump into that and just learn some fun stuff because that world is probably the most complex and vast world that's ever been.
And then all the all the weapons. I have all the weapons that are collectible.
Right. Yeah.
I have daggers.
I got Sting. Yep. I got the Strider sword way back when it was first. All that stuff was hot on the market. But yeah, let's welcome the new followers. We hit 900 followers, 906. So thanks so much for jumping in and joining the channel. We are trying to hit a video a week. Obviously, things come up, and we don't always do that, but that's kind of the goal. So we try to hit a new video each week. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed and you're just watching, jump on and subscribe. Hit the like, and donations are open if you want to drop one in the chat to get your little banner up, and we'll focus on that comment if you want that to happen. So you're welcome to do that as well. But yeah, that being said, Lord of the Rings Bricks, LOL. Yeah, I've watched you guys before, but never joined a live stream. I had to for this one. Awesome. Well, it's great to have you on for this one. That's what we like to see in the chat. The lurkers jumping in and actually dropping comments and stuff like that. So that really helps us out.
Yeah, we're here to talk Lord of the Rings tonight, and I think with all the hype, especially seeing how everybody's going to be picking this up in the next 5 days.
Yep.
That are big fans. I think we should probably jump in and talk about Lord of the Rings series, the sets.
Sure. Yeah, maybe
Fairly
next
quick.
video or the
Maybe next
come
video.
in there. Yeah, I like that idea for sure. Yeah, the real Lord of the Rings fans are going to be picking this up on June 1st, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there. I haven't decided whether I'm going to order it or like throw bows at the Lego line at the store.
Yeah. See, I feel like if you care about the Fell Beast, which is the gift with purchase, I would go order because I feel like you're going to be able to get it in quicker. And those are going to sell out way before the set sells out.
I don't
can
know. It's a
guarantee it.
Saturday, so I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I'll just go down to the mall and sit there at 8 a.m.
Just get in line and
Yeah, I'll
be there
just chill
early.
on the floor. Yeah, I'll just be like, count me in for one of one.
Honestly, yeah, and if they're out at the store, you can just go on your phone and just order it online. Like on your
hell,
phone.
it'd be too late by then.
I don't know. The ones online usually seem to last. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a toss up.
Maybe.
Jump on there if you want the Fell Beast. I know that people have been goofing on it a bit. We'll talk about it in this video, but if you want it still, you got to jump on it pretty quick.
And I do because I found a eBay listing for $198 for the Fell Beast set.
Yeah, no, I knew it was gonna. Yeah, and it may drop to like $75, but like for a set like that, it's just not.
It's not even that good. But
yeah, you got to get it with
again.
The set.
It's I mean,
it's free, so that's what's good about it.
Yeah.
You know, I like it. I still like it. People have been clowning on it pretty hard, but I like it. I think there's some reasons to like it. Obviously, there's reasons to make fun of it too. But, yeah, PX Chris, huge Tolkien fan here as well. Read Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit multiple times over. Rewatched the movies at least once. Plus, I'm complete on the Lord of the Rings sets, dude. Yes, I have all but some of the polybag like Gandalf, Rando.
I have all of them except for the Tower of Orthanc.
Oh, dude, yeah, that is a killer.
And I have duplicates of a lot of them.
Yeah, I have like 5 of the Helm's Deep Battle Pack. Like, I've got so many Uruk-hai now.
That's good. That's
good. Yeah. So yeah, I've got multiples of some of. I wish I had gotten the multiples of the Orc Forge. That's the one that I kick myself not getting
Orc
5 or
Forge
6
good.
of those. Yeah.
The goblin tunnel thing is also good from
That's
the Hobbit
cool.
series.
You get 2 or 3 of those, bro. You got 2 of those?
Yeah.
You get 2 or 3 of those and loop all the bridges together, and you get extra goblins and everything.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
That's fun, dude. Yeah.
I did want to welcome Orange Bricks. Hey man, what's going on? If I'm not mistaken, didn't you just set up like some kind of a museum exhibit? If I'm not mistaken. Chorange. I'm pretty sure he did.
Chorange is always doing cool stuff like that.
Yeah,
he also launched.
He's part of his local community.
Yeah, he's actually involved. I think he also launched some cool physical kits you can buy of some of his designs. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
There's a little lobster you could buy, and then a little like fishing boat, I think, and they were like the ones he was selling online, and you could buy them and put them together, just like small, like fun little sets. Yeah.
Sir Lewis Bricks is also in here. BZ is also in here. Lady Bricks is watching tonight.
Hey, welcome. Matt Braden. I always say Brandon. Braden.
Yeah.
PX
one other thing before we go into this. I've got a lot of irritated customers on Brick Monarch because our sign production for the last wave took a lot longer than expected, but the new ones that were released were the Ice Planet. This is what it looks like.
I love that, dude. That is so cool.
Yeah. So this is the Ice Planet wall sign right here.
Nice.
And then also coming up, the dwarves shield from the fantasy era.
Very cool.
The wall sign as well.
Very nice.
You can kind of see the texture in there. It looks very nice. It looks exactly like the shield.
It's a spot-on copy, so that's really cool.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show those two because I've got orders scattered from one end of the shop to the other right at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, so those are going to hit the store, or they just hit the store?
No, they've been on the store. They were on the store for the last pre-order.
Oh, okay. So you're just showing them off. Like, yeah. Those are cool. I like those a lot. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Brickativity's in the same boat you are. I regret not getting the Tower of War thing, but I have most of the other sets, or most of the rest of the sets. Yeah.
I feel like the Tower of War thing is probably one of those sets that you could piece out if you really wanted to.
It is, except for obviously the minifigs are going to be a little tricky. And
well, you're just going to have to pay an overpriced for them anyway.
Yeah, and
better
then
than
all the
spending
prints,
$1,200 on the set.
all the prints and stickers are going to be tricky to get a hold of too. But if you could get a sticker sheet and some of the printed stuff, I guess it wouldn't be too hard. I got it, but I got it like at a crazy discount when it was in the store. Like so I do have that one, but. Yeah, it's a lot of repeat stuff. I mean, you can look at it. It's a lot of repeated steps along the outside and everything. So yeah,
as far as detail, this set has a lot more detail.
Oh yeah, it's so much bigger too. Like just
it's massive.
Overall massive. So yeah, for sure. Chorange has a map of Maine, a buildable map of Maine you can pick up. Retro Space Coach was saying that sounds awesome. So that's a little set you can buy from him. That's really cool. I've always wanted to do that. One of these days, you guys stay posted. I'm gonna do that. Something like that. I'd love to do that. What?
One of these days.
Well, one of these days, the brick shop will have a little kit you can buy. I'll make it happen. But anyway, you want to jump into these photos and really talk about this?
Oh yeah, yeah. Welcome, General Tron. He just showed up. Brett Spills just showed up. So that's good.
Good.
All right.
Welcome, Brett.
Let's take a look at this thing. What a beast.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's hard to even start. Like, where do we start talking about this? Like,
I mean, let's start with Sauron.
Okay, yeah. Sauron.
The one headpiece mask with shoulders and all the whole bit there.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Nice.
It's surprising that we've gone through an entire Hobbit series, an entire Lord of the Rings series, and now we finally get one.
Yeah, it's incredible that it was never made. Yeah, that is a very good point. That speaks to the insane lack of certain characters and story that Lego missed out on when they did the original theme. So, like the main villain you never got. Right?
Yeah, right.
They're just kind of huge. This is the set. Here's the other thing. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Orthanc is nice. It's a good set. I don't know if we would have got a set like this when they were doing it in whenever the years they dropped.
No, because it would have had to have been a massive set.
Yeah,
and that was a time before they were making such massive sets.
It kind of feels, yeah, they had like one or two, like a couple, and they were all in Star Wars, right? Like a big box set from Star Wars, maybe the Death Star and the Millennium Falcon.
Those were still hitting around 3,000 parts.
Well, I think the Death Star and the Millennium Falcon, like UCS, were a lot more than that. But those were the only. Those are special cases. Like
that wasn't 2014 and before.
No,
we're talking about a decade ago.
I don't remember when the first UCS Falcon came out. It was a while ago. I'll just say this: Lego did have some big sets, maybe not quite as big as this one, but they did have big ones. But they weren't doing it consistently for all of the licensed themes or even some of the in-house themes. They weren't doing that at all. You're right, and so that's what I'm kind of saying. Coming back to this is like, yeah, I'm not sure we would have got something as good as this at that time. Now, waiting as long as we did was kind of rough. I thought it was dead forever, but it's cool to see it now.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. I do want to address a couple of comments. I did not pull in a slide on the Gimli and Legolas brickheads.
That's fine.
We all know that they're coming. And I'm going to pick them up because I have all the rest of them.
Yeah, if you have them already, definitely makes sense to get them.
And let's see, another comment here from Brett Spills. I want to mention, I like this, but feel Rivendell would suit my medieval layout better. It's too much black.
Yeah.
And it really is. And I'm not fond of the giant big black monstrosities like this. However, this is a once in a lifetime Lego set. Lord of the Rings licensed, and I don't care if it's shit on a plate. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I mean I'm in the same boat, and no, it's like just take the eye off the top and put the Black Knight's flag on top, and you got your Black Knight's castle. It's not too black for a Lego castle layout. Yeah, no, it could be messing with you. No,
it could be any fantasy castle, dark guy, bad guy layout. You know?
Yeah, no. So let's speak to that a little bit though, because Brett actually is onto something. And I think the biggest difference between this one and Orthanc is that Orthanc basically is just a black tower. There's almost no color
it
at all.
really is.
This one, I appreciate how they were able to work in all of these other tones and the
I love the
stonework.
tones in the bottom.
Yeah, all this like the all of the nougat colors and
Yeah, it looks great.
They brought it as dark and evil and black as this tower is. They pulled tons of color into this set and pulled it off in a way that it was subtle enough not to just ruin the set.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate the work they did for that. And so that's why I feel like this is a little better than just a big black tower. But yeah, no, it's a valid point. And Rivendell, any fantasy setup you've got that's any kind of castle setup, Rivendell's going to probably add more to that with all the foliage and
oh yeah, I mean,
let's
we're not knocking Rivendell. I mean, I love that set. I still haven't even built it. It's still sitting in a box.
Yeah,
mint and brand new condition. And that's where this one will probably stay for a while as well. But I will be picking it up.
Yeah, I get that. Well, and money is the thing. If money wasn't an object, then I agree at 200%, right? So that's what Brad's saying, and that's a fair point. A lot of people are either stuck not getting this because it is just a darn a lot of money out of nowhere, or you're gonna be throwing one or the other. I'm kind of in the one or the other boat. And since this one comes with another set with another ring wraith, the Fell Beast set they've never done before in Lego, I'm like, dude, I'm probably gonna get this one, and then I'm gonna do my best to get Rivendell before it goes out of stock. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. All these high price sets, they do come with a cost. So
conveniently, I do have 2 of the Black Gate set from Lord of the Rings.
Very nice. Okay, I wanted to talk about that too.
So as far as like a display piece, like I can totally put those 2 together.
Yeah.
Make one gate and consider it the set, and then set this in behind it. And
I like it.
It'll be a wonderful display.
Yeah. Well, and I think that is kind of also speaks to what we were getting at the time when Lord of the Rings was in full swing for their license. That was their Mordor set. It was a very lackluster set, in my opinion. Not a lot was going on with it. It was very scaled down, almost ridiculously small. It came with some cool minifigs, but that was almost all that was going for it. So having 2 was the move, because then you would have the double gate anyway. So people were picking up 2 of them a lot.
That was a pretty standard practice, I think.
Yeah. And that's going to look amazing just right out in front of this, right? That's going to look great, putting those 2 gates up in front.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could throw the Shelob in there in your display as well, and just kind of everything Mordor and like the rocks and mountains around it. You get pretty fun there.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you could get wild with it if you don't love Orthanc and you have it. Break it down and make the front wall and the gate out of Orthanc, because there's enough parts in that to totally build out Mordor. So you could do that too. Do an alt build.
Agreed.
But yeah, go ahead.
I did want to welcome a couple other people known as Ristaco.
Nice.
I don't know. Join. Thanks for joining. Kenneth M.A. and Tricerion is in.
Yeah, welcome. I was just reading a couple comments here.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it's so expensive. It's still with all the part worth a lot of potential. All pick-a-brick walls are full of black parts, and you can expand on it many ways. It's worth the investment if you want to make a diorama. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a good point. There is a lot of black brick available, and it's not expensive.
No, not at all.
So it's one of the cheapest colors, I believe. So it's easy to get a hold of black brick.
I think it's because it's widely used among pretty much every set. Every set's got some kind of a black piece in it.
Yeah, it's a pretty base. It's a base color for a lot of stuff, so it seems like it shows up a lot. Building out on this is a huge potential. Obviously, I don't do too much of the investing in Lego and sitting on the set and selling it later, but I'm sure this will be a hugely, it's going to be a super good set to invest in if you wanted to do something like that too. So Yeah, it's worth the money. It is, even though it's expensive. If you can swing it, it's worth it. So, in my opinion, looking at it here. So, yeah.
Yeah. So just a couple of quick details about this. Obviously, set 10333. Releasing on June 1st for insiders, June 4th for anybody who doesn't sign up for free. I don't understand why you'd even do that. Why wouldn't you just sign up? Comes with the GWP. It's 17.5 inches wide at the base.
Yeah.
And 32.5 inches tall.
Dude, I pulled out a tape measure to check that.
I did too. I
Reference.
have my tape measure. This is my desk tape measure right here. I've got it right here next to me. So
yeah,
I did the same thing. I was like, holy shit, that's big.
Yeah, I've got my tape measure right here too, and yeah, I pulled it up and I was like, what? It's insanely tall.
Good comment, Mirko. I invest in Lego for my soul.
See, there you go. Yeah, I appreciate that actually, because yeah, a lot of people get really caught up in how much the set is worth. If it's in a box, if it's not, am I going to resell it or should I open it? And I see Mirko just doing his own thing and like busting out, you know, boxes and opening things and building out worlds and stuff like that. And then also like selling off stuff he doesn't need. And like, I need to get more like that because like I've got way too much stuff that I don't need to hang on to.
That's the spirit, Brickativity.
So
if I don't have the cash in the bank day one, that's what's happening right there.
See, yeah. I feel like this is gonna be another, the spirit. Exactly, that's the spirit.
All right, so let's have a look. See here at this GWP. I know that it's kind of it's a bit lackluster in comparison as to what it should have maybe been.
Yeah,
I think that maybe they should have done a giant Fell Beast as a set. $200 set, mind you, and threw something else in small as a GWP here. Sure, it literally could have been anything.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, even if it was just like a little, like, I don't know, like a weapon rack with 2 more orcs that slid inside the tower somewhere or something.
Like, give me a giant set of Moria.
Mm-hmm.
Before or after it fell, I don't care.
Actually, yeah. 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 This so I've seen a lot of different poses. There's some better ones and there's some worse ones for this guy. He's not, what I kind of like about him is he's easily replicatable, so maybe he's not worth it. I don't know how much the wing inserts are going to go for. They're probably going to be as much as the set.
Probably.
But if they weren't too expensive, you could build these pretty easily, I think. They're pretty common parts for the most part. Yeah. Except the ring wraith, because you only get that printed ring wraith guy up there on this right now. Should have been the Witch King also riding this, not a regular basic ring wraith guy. But I guess they had already molded Sauron's helmet and a bunch of other stuff, and they weren't going to go a little too far with this one. So yeah, let's see. Retro head reminds me of an alien from for some reason. It does look a lot like the alien head.
Yeah,
you know. It's someone. There was a funny video someone put together, and they called it a like the Grim Reaper riding an emo pterodactyl.
Yeah,
was their description.
I can see that.
So it's pretty funny. I don't hate it. I at first I thought it was kind of goofy looking. The more I kind of looked at it, the more I saw of it, it kind of grew on me a little bit. And I do think it would be fun to maybe build 1 or 2 more, because it's not that hard to build, and I have other ring wraiths I can put on them from the old Lego set.
Yeah, so. Now, I mean, if you really look online, there's a lot of custom builds.
That's true.
Ring wraiths that are fantastic.
The more movie accurate for sure.
Yeah, more movie accurate.
Yeah,
and
bigger,
many more parts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for what it is, I think it still was almost 200 pieces or somewhere around there.
269.
216. So almost 3. Well, not almost, but yeah. So that's a lot of parts. Doesn't look like there's that many. There must have been a lot of small parts on it.
It is. There's a lot of Technic pins and stuff like that for the wings.
And I think it's also a little bigger than we think it is. Like, you got to look at the minifig on it and like kind of get that scale for you. I've seen it next to the tower, and it actually does have a presence. So yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. I know why people are clowning on it a bit. The thing doesn't even have eyes. Like,
it'll be cool to just sit it there perched on its little stones.
Yeah,
in front of
sitting kind of, yeah, or
in front of the
build
tower.
those, add those stones a little bit on the rock work and see if you can perch it kind of cling into the tower a little bit. That might look really cool.
Yeah, maybe like the Dungeons and Dragons dragon was kind of posted up.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I like it. That's my official take. Is I think it's cool and I like it. So
I think
that's it.
it's kind of hard to see right here in this picture, but I like the fact that they included the little steps in the cave where Frodo's supposed to throw the ring out.
Oh.
That's that little tiny build, the little tiny side build is where Frodo is supposed to toss
the
the
little
ring
side build. Yeah. See, that's almost closer to what I thought maybe the gift with purchase would be. Like a little group, like a little rock build with like a couple extra figs or something. But yeah. You're talking about the step. Yeah, I see that.
Which is technically not in this tower; it's in the volcano, which is in Mordor.
Right. They just added it as like some terrain out.
Yeah, they just added it as an
on.
extra, display piece for the build. Because
which I think is cool.
Talking about Mordor, yeah.
Well, and it gives a nice vignette kind of for Gollum and the two hobbits to kind of hang out on. That's not inside the tower because they never were in the tower. So
yeah, they were never in the tower.
Right. Yeah, I actually really like that. That little rock terrain piece is really cool, actually. But yeah. What was also cool is you never see the inside of the tower from the movie, right? Like it doesn't really ever go inside. And so that's what the designers were talking a little bit about with some creative freedom there to build out some of the rooms and put some of the stuff in they wanted.
Yeah, which is cool, which we're going to talk about here soon. We will get to that. Moving on past the GWP felt Beast here. This was what was displayed on Lego's website.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. All the little images.
And see, it shows under the new elements there, Jason. The little tiny rock build where Frodo is supposed to throw the ring.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic.
Dude, the fact that they molded separate special orc helmets for their disguises and make them movie accurate blew my mind.
Yeah, that's great.
That is crazy. That is the detail I would expect and hope for a set like this that a lot of times they miss.
Well, they donate a lot of details to this Star Wars crap. I don't understand why they wouldn't to a Lord of the Rings.
They do. I would almost argue that the Lord of the Rings ones might have a little better detail and a little more accuracy because they're so few and far between. Whereas like Star Wars fans rage about the like markings on Commander Cody's armor because it has 3 stripes instead of 2 and like his leg isn't printed or something.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I couldn't tell you if I wanted to why this is a problem.
Me either.
So, but as a Lord of the Rings fan and as someone who's got all the other Lego and all this, seeing these, it's just really, really cool. The biggest gripe from most people was that the 2 hobbits were the same from the Rivendell set, I guess.
Well,
like same prince or something.
I think that's expected, seeing as how Rivendell is so recent.
Yeah.
And they technically were wearing the same clothes because it was the same adventure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because I think this is a good balance because you could have put them in their like the orc armor that they wore to when they went down into Mordor into the army and everything and like blended in with the orcs. You could have done new prints for them in those, or you could have just given them. This is a good point too.
They could have been a little dirtier around the edge.
Sure. Yeah, like added some mud and stuff on them.
Yeah, I mean after the swamp and the cave, they both looked like train wrecks.
Yeah. So yeah, they could have definitely done some pretty exclusive Sam and Frodo figs for this.
Something too. I don't know. A couple comments and a couple statements. First off, the Mouth of Sauron. I'm not sure if that's the same chest print and leg print as the original one that we got with the Black Gate. I'm pretty sure it came with the Black Gate. So it's different. Not.
Yeah, it's a new print.
I didn't look.
It's basically the same, but it's like it is a new updated print. Like, some of these guys they just look the same because they're wearing the same stuff. So it's like they do a new print and it's not that different.
Something else too that I wanted to point out: the Palantir Stone. There's a slide out
Yeah, I saw
mechanism
that, dude.
where it's like the throne splits and
Yep.
that comes out, so you can see
Yeah,
it.
so
You can see that there in that image.
yeah, in this image, you see the two halves of the throne open. So that's an awesome mechanism, and it looks really cool when they do it in the video. Like, yeah, you can
Mhm.
slide that floor panel out, and it totally like opens up the throne. It's this hidden room that slides up, and the Palantir comes out. And inside the Palantir shows the Shire burning, and on the other side it shows the White Tree of Gondor in flames. So
Which
I
is
think
cool.
that's super cool. Those are really, again, perfect details for this.
Visuals. They were
Yep.
visuals and visions
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
what could be,
Yeah, he was looking into the future, trying to see what his
Yeah.
reign would look like or whatever. Yeah.
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Mirko pointed out that he hoped that for a taller Sauron. So
Yeah,
what I would do is I would take two dark bluish gray or black, depending on which one looks the
Sure.
best, one by one
There you
plates
go. There you
and
go.
stack them
I
and just
like
call it a
that.
day.
I like that better than a lot of people's suggestions of putting the Avatar's legs on him.
I mean, you could have done that too, and it would have worked.
I just don't like the Avatar legs. I think they look stupid on every minifig except Woody from Toy Story.
Yeah, I was gonna say Woody from Toy Story was a must.
Because they're not scaled to the rest of the body. So
Yeah.
all it would look like is Sauron on stilts to me.
Yeah,
It's like
that might be a
you make
little too tall, even though he
Yeah.
was like
he
12 feet
was
tall.
he was
in
way
the
tall
movie.
in the movie. Yeah. I think he's fine. I like your idea of boosting him up maybe one or two plates that you can blend it into the leg print or whatever. Like that would work pretty well. Mouth of Sauron does have a new helmet mold as well with that kind of that capey thing hanging off the back of it. They printed that in
really?
a second. Yeah, it's got another, like, it's a two dual molded black veil on the back of his helmet there. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to when we were talking about the hobbits not being in the tower, Lord of the Rings Brick says Gollum was in the tower once, but not at that time, which is correct. He was tortured in this tower, I believe, for a while before he escaped or was let go.
And for all those Lord of the Rings fans, the Hunt for Gollum.
That's
new Peter Jackson movie coming out.
Wild. What a weird movie. Like, of all the Tolkien lore and everything out there, it's like, yeah, let's do Hunt for Gollum.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you have no idea what characters they're going to introduce during that because he lived a long life.
Yeah. And if it's the Hunt for Gollum, I assume it's Aragorn tracking him.
Perhaps, or Gandalf for one. I mean,
I think
even though
Mirkwood elves looked after him for a long time too.
Yeah, and he was a hobbit originally.
Yeah. Or what was he? He was of the Hobbit strain. What is that? Of the Hobbit race, I guess. He was a. I can't remember the name of his folk, but
Like
yeah, they were river.
They
because the hobbits don't like water, but his folk were on the water. So
yeah,
but they were still the short, little hobbit furry people, whatever. So I can't. Yeah, but they had a certain name.
I did want to mention something. Lady Bricks had brought it up, and you had brought it up to me earlier. Talking about voting for the next castle faction.
Yeah. Let's take a break for a second from Lord of the Rings real quick and address that. I guess on Lego Ideas, there is a fan vote for 4 different factions of a shield, kind of. It's not for a new theme. It's not for a new castle set. It's just for a minifig to see if we get that logo on a shield and maybe on the torso. They have the original Raven Knight, I think. The Bull from like a remaster of the Bull Knight, a Kraken, and a Griffin. The Griffin actually looks kind of cool because it looks like they used the head of the dragon from Black Knights and kind of molded it into a Griffin body. And this is for like some weird like minifigure reward vending machine thing. Like, I couldn't really tell you how it functions exactly. We got Brickativity, Kraken's cool, Taz let's go Kraken, BZ, I voted for the Kraken. Kraken looked really nice.
I don't like it.
You don't like the Kraken?
No.
What one would you go for?
Probably the Griffin.
Yeah,
I don't like the Bulls. We've already got a Raven Knight. We've already got a Raven Knight, so those are already in circulation.
Yeah. A variant of the Raven Knight would be cool. Again, I don't know how available these are going to be.
I don't either.
Like, and then they were also doing
I
colors for
am
new space
honestly, I'm
people.
not concerned with it at all. I don't even care to waste my time doing that. Just give me another castle set this year.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so we wanted to let our people know about it. Go to LegoIdeas.com, find it, see if you want to vote for something, and see what happens with it. I'm not sure the ramification of what that's going to be, though. Like whether it's going to be something that's easily attainable, or if it's just going to be mixed in with a bunch of random minifigs, and you can maybe
who
get
knows?
one of them. Like I have no idea. Yeah.
Before we move into the next slide, I did want to mention the photo labeled "Expand the Fellowship" with the tower built next to Rivendell as like a Lord of the Rings display. Just those two sets alone, what an
Fill
impact!
a whole table. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, huge.
Well, and see, so that's what they're kind of doing. You're basically at this point in the Lord of the Rings Lego saga. What they've given us is 2 sets that equal about $1,000 if you bought both of them. Probably a little over if you're paying all the tax and all that. And you're getting as many, if not more, parts and figs almost as if you would have bought a whole series of smaller sets.
Yeah.
So it's a bit. They're kind of just giving it to you in a big dose, and you can kind of build it out on your table,
and that's
see
fine.
it.
And with the new Peter Jackson movie coming out,
I mean, if they just rebooted the whole theme and had the Harry Potter designers,
one would hope that we get a hold of a new release of medium sets, and then maybe another big one.
That'd be sick. I would love that, and also get those Harry Potter designers on it, guys.
A great set would be the Mirkwood Kingdom.
The Mirkwood Kingdom would be great.
That'd be fantastic.
I would kind of like at least a chunk of the Wall of Gondor, since we got 0 Gondor in the first release.
Gondor, Minas Tirith. I mean, you really there's quite a few that they could do.
The Bridge of Khazad-dûm,
$500-$600 sets.
Yeah, Bridge of Khazad-dûm with the Balrog.
Oh yeah,
I need Éowyn. I need an Éowyn minifig. A Rohan camp with like 5 or 6 figs and 3 or 4 horses.
Rohan itself.
Edoras, the Golden Hall.
The Golden Hall of Edoras. That would be a fantastic set.
Obviously more Mordor. Any more Orc and Mordor stuff I love, because you got to build up those hordes of, the siege tower would be cool. The big battering ram would be cool. Like we could go on for hours about what they missed and what they could do. So Faramir. Where's Faramir? Help me, Lord of the Rings Lego guy, help me out. What was the name of the city across from the broken one that he held against the orcs?
I cannot remember.
How cool would that be to get like a $200 city that he's holding against one of the fell beasts?
Yeah, all cracked and broken.
Super cool set.
Yeah,
Osgiliath, Jabin. That's my bro, Jabin, jumping into the comments. Osgiliath. Yeah, now we got him. Osgiliath, sir. Lord of the Rings Rich. We got him jumping in. Yeah, here we go. The true fans jumping in with the correct names. I don't know why I blanked on that. I do know that, but
it's only mentioned. It's only mentioned like once or twice.
In the books, it's pretty key, but in the movie, they only talk about it a little bit. But yeah, sick. That would be. You could have the orc boats, the little ones that came over, the siege boats, right? Have 2 or 3. You could do this. You could build out this theme literally for like 10 years worth of Lego sets, like they're doing with Harry Potter and Star Wars. Look at these figs though, man.
Yeah, these are some good figs.
The new orcs are cool. I love the colors. You get Gothmog, I believe is the name of that creepy looking bloated orc. The leprosy orc. Yeah, that guy's crazy looking. It's cool we get him. I think it's insane we get Gothmog over Éowyn and Faramir. And probably a lot of other kind of key characters that they forgot to put in the original theme.
Well, to be fair, none of those really belong to this set.
No, I'm just saying in general, we got a Lego Gothmog before a Lego Éowyn. It's just crazy. But
I mean, was Éowyn even at the Black Gate at the final battle?
No, I'm just saying
I can't remember.
In the grand timeline of Lego Lord of the Rings, somehow we got these guys instead of her, which is kind of crazy.
So you get an awesome lineup of figs here with this. I always enjoy getting extra hobbits. The hobbits are definitely my favorite part of
Yeah, because you
Middle
can mix
Earth.
them up and you can make those little murder hobbits from the Rings of Power show.
I didn't watch that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. They were called something else. The
I did
I don't
I did
remember what
want
they're
to point out I wanted to include the build of the eye because it's so good.
Yeah, I was hoping to
Given the
talk about that.
pieces that we have here.
So I think a lot of people have already mentioned this in their like analysis of the set, but the fact that they made the top of the tower out of like dark orange, nougat, and brown is insane because that makes the eye look like it's reflecting off all the black metal, but none of
Yes,
those parts are black.
I know.
Is that's incredible?
It's a great feature.
It might be the best thing I've seen Lego design ever. Harfoots. They call them Harfoots, bro. I can't watch that show.
Yeah.
They destroyed the legacy of the hobbits in that show.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
Don't turn it on. Apparently only 36% of viewers finished that show, which is absolutely terrible.
Well, I'm one of the viewers that never watched any of it.
Yeah, you're lucky. I watched 4 episodes and I couldn't finish it.
Once I saw the black dwarf lady in the advertisement, I said no. And I got no problem with black people. Let me make that clear. But not in my dwarf world from the Tolkien series. That's just inaccurate entirely.
Sure. Yeah, there was a lot more problems with it than that, I would say. But yeah, they were just going all over the place with it, trying all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah,
and
I mean, the acting was awful. The young Galadriel was supposed to be like 7 foot tall or something like this. Like historically, she was a very tall elf.
Yeah.
And they used a very short person to portray that, and that was terrible.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not even gonna really get into the problems with that show because there were so many. I mean, it would be a lot quicker to tell you what was right about it, which was nothing. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, the visuals, the visual effects on some of the cities and the tree and like some of the big areas were really well done. But all of the props were terrible. All the set pieces were terrible. All of the stuff that I care about when I watch a show like that, the armor, the interesting lore, all of that was garbage. And it looked like it was a cheap ripoff of the original Lord of the Rings movies. It looked like something. Yeah, so yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're not getting into that. Anyway, that's someone was saying in the comments that's all Amazon's own kind of stuff, their own lore almost. They're just kind of piecing stuff together to try and rope in as many original Lord of the Rings fans as possible. But I don't think it's working too well.
Yep. So moving back to the tower. Here's the tower front and back, and you got the tip of the top of the tower front and back as well, up close. So you can kind of see you got the 2 small rooms up top.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to make out what's in there, but one of them's got a scroll in it.
Yeah, it's like a study almost, kind of, or something. Yeah.
And
well, in the second one, both of them are kind of like library style.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You know, obviously the playability on that is very low. Not that I care because I don't play. I just build and admire. That's
I'm gonna have to.
AFOs do normally.
Yeah, let's point out real quick. There's some new library like scroll shelves printed on these, those corner window pieces that are like curved now, and you can clip the little glass pieces into the.
I love those.
Yeah, so in that lower,
brown, I bought a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, dude, they're really cool. I love that piece as well, and you can clip in printed stacks of scrolls into those pieces now in this set. So you can like have like a rounded kind of scroll shelf with a bunch of like scrolls in it. So there's a really cool piece in there, which is pretty fun. So I like that a lot. Let's see. Yeah. And then I don't know. I'm not sure what's up top. It looks like there's a ladder, though, behind that scroll there, up in the top on that podium. And then at the throne room, we kind of got a close-up on the throne room below this, right, with that palantir that emerges out of the inside of the throne. And then some banners with the eye, which is really cool. It's always good to get more, like, merch from the Dark Tower with logos. I wish there was a couple shields with the eye. They just kind of rusted them up. They didn't put the eye emblem on them, but it's still cool to get the banners there.
This is kind of cool. I want to point this out. Morgoth of
From
Angband.
Angband. Yeah, nice.
I am currently collecting Lego for a similar Lord of the Rings project, Morgoth versus Fingolfin, in front of the gate of Angband.
Yeah.
A diorama in minifig scale. Now, for those of you that don't know, that is like some Tolkien lore that is not anything that's been displayed or talked about in the primary books. That is like
That's deep lore.
That's like in the appendices.
Silmarillion.
The
Yeah, and in the
appendices
Silmarillion.
of the Silmarillion. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
so you really have to go deep into Tolkien's work to find that information.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. When you walk upon that, you're probably not even going to know what the hell you're looking at.
But it sounds amazing. I mean, I'll know. That's the scene where
Yeah,
it's,
I'll know
I
as
think
well.
it's described when he's fighting him. That is like, I could be wrong, but I believe that when I was reading about that, it was that the weapon was like creating craters in the ground outside the gate, and he was like dodging and weaving around these like craters being like like smashed into the ground by Morgoth's mace or sword or whatever he was using.
Yeah.
I think that's how it was described. But yeah, it's an
Saint-
epic battle. I've seen images like painted. People have painted that
Yeah.
battle, and it's amazing. It would be a really cool display.
St. Louis Bricks says yes, it's an amazing lore, and I just wanted to second that. If you really, really dive into Tolkien, you can get lost in his work and his world for days.
Yeah, well,
and still not know everything.
There's like I've got volumes of like stuff. Like I got the whole like Lays of Beleriand, which is a full book. It's the Unfinished Tales Part 1 and 2, which are full books, and those are all set in his world too.
Yeah.
And then there's all of Christopher Tolkien stuff, which I don't know if you've read some of his works that were written based on all of his father's notes. Like they did a series. They did a series of like what he did was he took a lot of the very key stories from the Silmarillion, and he polished and pulled in a bunch of notes and polished them up and published them as solo stories. So the story of Beren and Luthien now you can just read as a solo book out of the Silmarillion, written by Christopher Tolkien, which is basically, I mean, he's very similar to his father's writing. And then there was a couple other ones. The first one they published, I'm trying to remember the name of that one, but yeah, it's there's so much there. You could legitimately just read books.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of, I'm a huge dwarf fan. I love the Tolkien dwarves and how they were born, just like out of rock.
Yeah, there was a rebellion.
That whole process of them being born out of rock and just like scattering Middle Earth is fantastic.
Yeah, well, because they were actually an affront to Iluvatar when he was, because the guy that made him, because Iluvatar was kind of the creator of the whole world, and he like made everything, and then the guy that made the dwarves kind of did it because he was trying to please Iluvatar, but then he was like, oh dude, I shouldn't have done that because I created life and only you're supposed to do that. And then yeah, so they were kind of cursed to be of the rocks and underground because of that. And like, yeah, he just weaves in all this cool lore.
But then that's where you get the line of Durin with the 7 stars and the crown and the Mirror Lake.
Well, the guy who created him, the demigod or whatever who created him, was gonna crush him because he's like, he like took up a big hammer and was like, I'll crush it. Like, sorry, I made these. And then Iluvatar was like, no, you keep them. Like, we'll work them into the lore here. But like, yeah, very interesting. Children of Húrin was the first one, Jason. Yes, PX. That book is so good. The Children of Húrin. If you haven't read that, Andrew, pick that one up or listen to it. The Children of Húrin is incredible.
I'll check it out.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Jabin Cameron said that too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, now that we've drooled over Tolkien's history a little bit, we got a couple more images I want to get through here. Yeah, Euli.
Was that the god who made the dwarves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said not from the Silmarillion. I'm not sure what in response to that was. I mean, most of the things that we're talking about are found in the Silmarillion at some point. So, but yeah, that's fine if we clarify what that was. I was just curious about that. But
hey, real quick, I got to refresh because my screen froze here for some reason. Unless it's back off.
All right, so you're gonna back out and then
I'm gonna come right back in.
All right, I'll solo this for a second.
All right, at least I can give everybody a heads up.
Yeah, at least it's not just out of the blue. Sounds good, man. We'll
Yeah,
see you in a
I mean,
second.
I'm like literally dead in the water right now.
All
And I'm
good.
not sure why.
I'll just talk to the chat. I'll pretend I know things.
Pretend you know things.
Yeah, I'll just pretend I know things until you come back.
All right, give me just 1 second. I'm not sure what happened. We're gonna run over a few minutes anyway, so.
All good. All good. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we're already 50 minutes. That's fine. I've got a little time. But yeah, let's see. So, you guys hit me with some stuff in the comments here. I'm going to talk to you. Well, I almost said Aragorn. Well, Andrew refreshes the feed here. Let's see. Baron and Luthien is a great story. Yeah, that's a intense story. Lots of really cool classic like medieval lore and like tales are woven into that. A lot of themes from fantasy. Tricerion says werewolves. Yeah, well, Sauron is in the story of Baron and Luthien, and he shapeshifts into a werewolf at one point. So that's fun. Let's see, General Trunch Brooks. Most of my reading's been between Tolkien and Terry Brooks. Yeah, I've heard about Terry Brooks. I haven't read any of his stuff, but I've heard it's good stuff. People like that. So that's a lot of fantasy stuff, right? A lot of times fantasy and sci-fi kind of bleed into each other. Sometimes people who are into fantasy will also read a lot of sci-fi. I don't know. I don't think. Refresh me on that one. If Terry Brooks does sci-fi or fantasy, he might do both. I don't know. Some people do that too. Let's see. Yeah, Morgoth of Angband. I like that your Morgoth from Angband is in here. That's a great username there for YouTube. I like Baron and Luthien the most. By now, let's see. I like that one's a good one for sure. So we're all just talking about that one in the comments here. PX Chris, I read a lot of Christopher Tolkien stuff too. Yeah, Christopher Tolkien. I mean, most of his work, from what I can tell, most of Christopher Tolkien's work is drawing a lot of his father's work into more focused in stories instead of kind of an overall history. It kind of concentrates it down into these nice, concise stories. So I don't know if he's written much original stuff. It's mostly just, well, yeah. So, Luthien is OP.
Hey,
welcome
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Luthien is OP. No, it's all good. At least we got the show back on track and all that, so that's cool.
Yeah. So, I don't know where you were, but I wanted to talk about the 3 base layers of this build, and go into them in detail just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So this first one here, this is obviously the base layer.
Yeah.
Where you've got the dungeon. It looks like you've got a grinding wheel or a blade sharpener wheel or whatever.
Armory. Looks like a forge, an armory.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of everything. There's some weapons over here on the far right side.
Just bro being toasted alive over lava.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think that this is pretty cool how they built this in layers. Similar to the museum that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Where you just kind of stack the layers on.
That's pretty cool. Well, it slides. You see the tracks, and then it clips onto those ladder hinges out there. So the whole section slides in and clips on.
Yeah, it
so
just sits really there.
Nice.
It just sits there, basically.
Yeah, and there's a couple little cubbies you can hide orcs, and I think there's a spider in one of these that like pull out. There's like a little pull out rock that you can pull out there, and it has like a spider and I think the ring might be in one of them for some reason. So, but yeah, anyway, there's some fun little Easter egg hidey holes down here.
Yeah.
The Uruk shields again are nice. They're not the same mold though, as far as I can tell.
So these are going to be like one-off pieces.
Yeah, I think they just come with this, and they've got new prints on them. So I could have they aren't the same because the Uruk-hai have the 2 prongs on the base, because that's that kind of goofy scene in the movie where they try and pin Aragorn to a tree with it.
Yeah,
around his neck. Yeah, so these are missing those. So these are brand new shield molds for Mordor, which is fantastic. And I think you get maybe 3 or 4 of them. So
You think those are going to hit Pick-a-Brick?
No. No, I don't think so. I mean, we could hope. I think a lot of these exclusive helmets and stuff are going to stay in the set. I don't know that we're going to get these. Maybe the shields, not the helmets, though, I don't think. These orc helmets, because they've done four new molds for orc helmets. 2 of them are pretty standard, and you get multiples, and then you get 1 of each for the hobbits.
Yeah.
So, yeah, BZ says, no, those old molds were destroyed. Yeah, they destroy them. They just destroy everything. They're dumping them in concrete and throw them in the water. Like
I know they did that with the goat, and then we got 2 different colored goats that came out here recently.
Yeah, I don't know. They're goofy. Because here's the thing, Okay, ready for this, guys? Here's a.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Listen to this, guys. Get ready. When Lego tells you they can't make a part that you really want to see back because they destroyed the mold, do you know how molding works? You take something and you make a mold around it. So you could take one of the original goats and you could make a mold around it.
Yeah, you make a new mold.
And you make a new mold off of the old part. That's literally how the molding process works. And then you refine it, and there you go, and you get the same damn goat. So that's a bunch of BS when they say they can't redo a part because they threw the mold away. That is the dumbest cop-out I've ever heard from a company who makes a living making plastic molded parts. That's the silliest thing ever. Anyway, so there you go. Yeah. That's how that works. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. The next layer.
The kitchen. The orc kitchen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's basically the orc kitchen, dining hall, I suppose, where orcs eat other orcs, and chickens and turkeys or whatever they eat.
Probably worse than that. Well, they have chicken legs here, but yeah, they're probably eating other orcs and stuff.
Yeah, squirrels.
They're pretty nasty.
Yeah, you get that one line. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yep. Did you see the menu in here?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
What's on there? Orc?
So listen to this. This is the best part. I'm glad you said that, because over to all the way, it's hiding in this image, but all the way over to the right of this image, there's a scrawled on like a plaque menu, and below it is like drawn the T-bone steak Lego piece. So meat is literally back on the menu in this Lego set.
Great.
So
that piece can be worked into any kind of medieval tavern.
Absolutely. And it's also one of the best Easter eggs and references to the movies that they put into this set.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is good.
I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that one. So yeah, no, I like this because we don't get a lot of places where the orcs just kind of chill and they're doing their thing. We get in the Lego Lord of the Rings verse, right? Like there's just really the Orc Forge where they're working to make the weapons for Saruman. So it's cool because they're in the movie and in the books, they have a lot of places where they're kind of eating and fighting each other around tables and knocking stuff over, and they're just being orcs. And so this is a perfect area for them to just, be in there and do that. So I like that a lot. It looks like they're drinking some green. Is that green drips from that barrel? Some nasty green grog? Kind of looks like there's some nasty, slimy drink on the floor.
Probably some of that stuff from the swamp.
Ooh, yeah, or some of that weird, that nasty liquor the orcs were forcing the hobbits to drink in the movie.
Gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
Let's see here. Those human meats. Those are human meats. Orcs eating humans.
Yeah.
Brickadivity mentions that meat piece is hard to get. That's why you got to go on to Bricklink and don't look at your wallet.
The T-bone steak piece?
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought it was. I have like 2. I guess I don't have a ton of them. I
have about 30 of them.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of those one of those pieces. I was like, well, I got to fill this food bin with meat.
Yeah. I have 2 or 3 of them. I think one came on like a CMF minifig. So.
I did want to point out something too here. For those of you that actually build, mocks and whatnot. This method of building where you just set the piece on top is wonderful. Now, if you take really close note here, you got one of those little track pieces in light bluish gray on both sides. You see the track piece?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, and then right here, you've at the base, you've got the little track insert that's the same
And then
sticking out at the very bottom corners.
and
So
they do it
that
again
that
on
that then will align you perfectly to slide that straight forward and then hit those clips without having any kind of difficulty or
perfect.
movement.
Yeah, there's also a cool, I just noticed on the lower slide on that last one, there's a cool sideways building technique with the arches on the bottom there. Do you see that over to the very bottom left?
Oh yeah.
Those arches are on the side, like making that architecture along the side there. That's very cool.
Making some
I never noticed that
wild
before.
shapes.
Yeah, weird, creepy. Yeah, the shapes of the tower up along the side. That's really cool. Yeah, no, that's a great point. And actually, General Tron's echoing that. Says modular is the best for huge mocks. That was something I had to learn the hard way. Yeah, they're just impossible to move around if they're too big.
I agree.
So yeah,
I didn't make my castle in small enough chunks. So now moving my castle requires 2 people.
Sure.
For each piece to move it.
Yeah.
It cannot be moved with one person.
Wow. Yeah. Well, then that's one of the biggest Lego castles that exists. So yeah, I could see that. It's hard to. It's very. It. The one thing I'll say to that is you really have to. It takes another level of sitting down and planning, and so sometimes free building doesn't allow for that.
Yeah.
But if you can at least free build in your modular sections, but you'd got to have at least some plan. If you're building anything bigger than right, your normal size little mocks, like you gotta break it up into modular. Put those tiles, those pegs, the clips, because it's the only way to move it and make it. Otherwise, your setup is like forever, and you have like 5 people you have to hire to move stuff around because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
So that's a good point, but it does take a lot of foresight and planning to plan your modular sections out for sure.
Again, here on the same one, you got the 2 tracks, and then you got 1 clip up there.
Right, because it's shrinking down. Yep.
Yeah, moving into the throne room, and this is the throne room. That little ball, the little ball down there, that's the slide out. You can pull that, and the
throne opens.
The throne opens, and the stone is revealed.
I think Lord of the Rings bricks mentioned those probably aren't printed banners. They're probably stickers.
I think they are stickers.
Which is kind of a bummer, but it's still nice to get those printed sticker pieces.
I mean, it's still cool.
They're cool prints or designs, I should say. Yeah, so.
Mirko.
They're stickers, yep.
Mirko, the castle is the castle, man. The castle is complete, but it's currently collecting some dust, so I'm going to have to redust it and photograph it, and I've gotten away from it for a moment because I got super busy, but it's still sitting there. So that's what's going on with the castle.
Yeah, you got some plans for that. It's still in the works. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Banners are great.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, Lord of the Rings bricks banners are great, but they're still great. Totally useful for an orc army. Yeah, that's what I liked about the ones that came in North Bank, though. The banners with the white hand on them.
White hand, yeah.
You put those on a standard above your Uruk-hai army outside of Helm's Deep or whatever,
Yeah, for sure.
Jose loves the throne. Yeah, this throne is amazing. It is. It's simple though. It's not overly detailed or complex, but it looks really nice. It's got a very evil vibe.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, it works well for the tower. Ooh, and you can see the rock built around the front. So that's that rock spike that comes out along the front of the tower.
Yeah, which is a nice touch overall.
Oh, really well done. I mean, it's also movie accurate, I think.
Yeah.
They have that rock kind of built up around the base there like that, so it looks nice.
Yeah, so I mean, aside from that, aside from that piece, looking back here at the full build overall, I mean,
10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it's great.
There's nothing in the design I don't like.
No, I'm totally fine with it. I mean, it is just a big black tower, but with the history of it, being a huge Tolkien fan myself, and Lord of the Rings fan, I mean, this is a must-have for me.
Yeah.
Same. No questions asked. I mean,
same. A lot of things come through, and I'm like, well, if I can get it, I can get it. Like with the medieval town or something. Like even the big Lion Knight's castle, I was like, I'll try to get it if I can scrounge the money together and have that happen. But like with this, man, I had to make it happen, So I went and worked a couple extra hours, got some, side jobs, and I've got the money for it. and that's
Well,
very
and
rare for me to go and do this.
What I did is,
Like-
see, I used every point that I had to get Rivendell.
Yeah.
So I still had some points, but I've got enough points now to get at least $50 off of this, which is
Okay.
fine. But to
Yeah.
get those points, I had to spend $100, which when I spent $100, what did I get? Oh, I got the blue Spaghetti Bolide Technic set because I have the yellow one, but I got the blue one. And I got the Family Tree that was recently released, and
I got
the little space diner.
Dude, I got the space diner too. It's sitting at the post office right now.
Yeah, I
didn't even mean to get it.
I had to pull a $100 purchase out of the back pocket to get my points to get my 50, and I was like, well, I wanted these anyway.
Might as well get one of the space diners. Yeah, that's fair. Jose was talking about the transformation of the throne. Yeah, we talked about a little earlier in the stream how the throne will split in half, and so that was the ball joint at the bottom. You pull that ball joint, the throne splits in half, the Palantir comes out, it slides out and takes the place of the throne there, and you see the tree of Gondor burning in the Palantir. So
yeah, you can kind of see it in this right here.
Yeah, it's kind of a little tricky to see it there, but yeah, it's in the Palantir stone image, so right there at the top.
And then it reveals that that map in the back.
Right, which is like a war map or some sort of plan or plot. Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
Let's see. Mirko says, "Can't wait to see it, brother. Are you responding to somebody?" And yes, Jason. How about your Bricklink edition? Will the pieces be available by June 3rd? Oh, like. Pictures? Oh, pics. Sorry, yeah, pics. Yeah, no, we can talk about that in a little bit. We're kind of wrapping it up now. Anyway, we're gonna hopefully show them on this live. Yeah. So I did a Bricklink submission that you guys can vote on to become a set. I worked in the Riverman stuff into a pre-existing faction, put it all together. I've sent Andrew's seen it. I've sent images to him because he's gonna work them into our next live stream.
Yeah.
And on next Monday, that will be live for you guys to vote on. So if you want to support me and my project, get my stuff built, and then you can actually take home a Brickstop official Lego set produced by Lego, up to 30,000 copies. If we make this thing happen, yeah, I'll promote the heck out of it next video, and we'll get you images of the whole thing. And
that's the only thing we're gonna see from Jason for the next 5 months.
Yeah, it's only 11 days. Promotion's only 11 days, so it's only like a week and a half. So I'll promote it for that week and a half. That's all you'll see from my Instagram, YouTube video. I'm gonna blast every known corner of the internet that does anything with Lego. I will blast images of that. So you will be sick of them by the time it's over, but hopefully it will have got you to vote for it. It's very classic style castle. It's built in the classic kind of colors, and I think it's pretty scaled to the village and the Lionites castle, so it would look well with those, I think. So
yeah,
but yeah, we'll get into that next week, so stay tuned for that. We'll do that as part of our next video. We won't do the whole video on it, but we'll do it.
Longtime fan of the show here, Minifig Collector, comes in with sideways out of his mouth over here.
That sucks. Lord of the Rings should be gone. Why? Who is this guy?
He must like Star Wars.
I appreciate that we have, some trolls, some haters. We're not getting anywhere if that doesn't happen. So that's just controversial, inflammatory things to say just to get some likes. And we,
he's trying to get heated, trying to get us heated over here.
And we got it. You got your comment up, so I assume that's what you wanted. But yeah, no, this is a 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10 set. Lord of the Rings should replace Harry Potter and Star Wars in Lego. So that's my hot take.
I mean, I'd be fine with that. I've got enough Harry Potter stuff to build the world 7 times over.
Same. Do I love the new stuff they did? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's
Would
great.
I prefer it all to be Lord of the Rings? Absolutely.
Yeah. Do I need it? No. Do I need Lord of the Rings? Yes.
I don't need any other license in Lego than Lord of the Rings. The rest of them are trash compared to this. Marvel, trash. Batman, trash. Star Wars, trash.
We have Harry a lot Potter's of missing. There's a lot of missing sets. Okay, and if those sets were provided to the Lord of the Rings fans, we might dial it back a little.
Yeah, but you're poking a bear with me, saying Lord of the Rings should go from Lego, and that this set isn't good.
Well,
That's-
unfortunately for you, minifig collector, Peter Jackson's making another movie next year, so I'm gonna put 90% on this that we will see more Lord of the Rings sets coming out, more Tolkien world.
Yeah, well, and also to be fair, if you don't like it, that's probably not a problem because it doesn't take up very much of the Lego space. It's just one or two really large sets that most people can't afford, so it's not going to be bugging anybody that doesn't like it. It's not filling your page like Star Wars fills up half the magazine, right?
Yep.
So. Yes, minifig collector. We talked about that a little earlier about the vote for the factions and all that. It's weird. I haven't wrapped my head around it fully. It sounds like you're just voting to get a one-off random night in a weird vending machine style purchase. So yeah, it sounds cool. I'm excited for another color spaceman and another faction shield, hopefully printed, but it doesn't sound super easy to get a hold of. So
I wanted to point out these two comments before we get off here. General Bricks said we need a Radagast tree home set.
Dude, I've been wanting to build one of those.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Tricerion says we need a Tom Bombadil. Yes. We do.
Yeah. A Tom Bombadil that I mean the problem is since it is based on the franchise, it's just not gonna happen.
Well, I think there's enough pieces out now that we could probably make one.
Yeah, I've seen some actually really nice custom Bombadil sets. Well, and I will say this, he was in the Lord of the Rings Lego video game, along with every other missing thing in the whole universe was in that game.
Yeah.
Every single one. So, or was it, wait a minute, I don't know if Bombadil was in there. It was Radagast was in there for sure before they released the Hobbit movies. But,
Mirko's coming out sideways over here.
Mirko? I dream about dreams. Well, he's doing now. That's obvious. I don't think. Yeah, dude, I can't do this.
All right.
Minas Tirith should be next. Yeah. Let's get a $500 Minas Tirith. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Get all the soldiers and Gandalf the White. Put him back in there. Maybe get another fell beast clinging to one of the towers or something.
Big one.
Love it. Well, that's it, guys.
Yep.
That was another episode of Let's Talk About Lego, Lord of the Rings, Tower of Barad-dûr edition. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Even if you don't like the set, drop a like.
Prancing
if
Pony.
You don't like, Prancing Pony would be a cool set. Now we're going back to Green Dragon Inn.
Yeah.
Let's do the Sandy Man's Mill.
So I think next week, let's see. Maybe next week we can plan for a little longer video, Jason.
Sure.
So that we can spend a little bit of time talking about your submission to the Bricklink Studio.
Awesome.
Contest there. And then let's do Lord of the Rings, man. Let's keep it hot.
Now that we've gone into here, got to see this tower close up, really dug into it, got some good input from you guys. Let's just jump into the old sets, I think it's 2012 sets.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah, 2014 was 2013 and 2014 was The Hobbit.
Yeah, and we'll just go and look at the old stuff and reminisce about how good it is. And we'll open. Let's probably open with my thing so that gets it out of the way. People can kind of see it. People jumping on the video after we post it can see it first, and then.
But I'd like to dedicate 20 minutes or so to that if we can.
Sure.
And then try to finish up the Lord of the Rings stream.
Yeah, and we got maybe one or two slides you could show for it as well, so people get a really good idea of what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it, man. Sounds good. Next week will be great. PX Chris, Tricerion, great show. Can't wait for more Lord of the Rings talk. Lord of the Rings GWP is going for over $100 on eBay. Yeah, we covered that earlier. That's why we're kind of shooting to get it with this free gift or not at all.
Yeah, day one.
Yep. All right, man. Have a good night. Great talking to you as always.
Yeah, indeed. Everybody, thanks for joining. Hope to see you next week while we talk about Jason's submission and Lord of the Rings.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks for joining.